Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right.
ladies
Perfect.
and You're ready now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to one of the few podcasts on the internet where it's not just two white guys telling you stuff. It's, it's today we have one black guy and one Indian guy.
Yeah.
His name is Kjelt. Kjelt, how do you say your full name, my good sir?
Kjelt Sreshth.
Shresh. All right.
Yeah, Kjelt is a Danish name. Sreshth is like Sanskrit. So yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
How did the two get?
I get that all the time. Like people ask me, why do you have a silent J in your name? What does it mean? And I tell them it means my father was on drugs. it's it's
He added an extra letter in there. You know, I need to find a word where there's two silent letters. Everyone just has one silent letter. But let's see.
Man, I'm having a lot of trouble with just one. I'm kind of glad there aren't two. So,
It depends on the drugs that you do. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, today we have Kjeld from India. Which part
yeah.
exactly?
I stay in Bangalore.
You stay in Bangalore.
Yeah, but I'm actually from Pondicherry, Karaikal. It's part of Pondicherry, which
All
is like a
right.
bit more south on the
Okay.
east coast. Yeah.
All right. And you're a stand-up comedian there.
Yes, I am.
Is it like are you in the national circuit? Well, what's the circuit like in India?
Uh, so stand up in India is only around a decade old. It started in 2009. So we just crossed the decade,
Mm,
a decade in stand up as a country.
yeah.
Stand up is right now, at least when what we call the national circuit, is probably only like four or five metropolitan cities.
All right.
You
Okay.
have Delhi. You have a proper comedy circuit in Delhi.
Mhm.
Bombay is the hub. It's like the Hollywood of India, basically.
All right.
It's where Bollywood actually is. So it's like the LA of
By the
India.
way,
Yeah,
Bombay is the same as Mumbai, right?
it is. Bombay and Mumbai are the same. Actually, Mumbai is politically correct. It's what people. It's what you have to say now. But Bombay is what the old people say. People who.
Do you know what? I want to be in touch with the real people. So what did the real homies call
I've heard it both ways, man. To be very honest, and I know you're recording this, so I don't want. Uh, no, I've heard it both ways. I've heard it both ways. But Mumbai is something that's like more predominant now. Less people get offended when you say Mumbai. That's actually what people expect.
All right. Okay.
Uh,
That is cool. Do you know, like, with this podcast that we're doing, How to Be Funny, I'm taking a global approach to comedy. I'm trying
all
to
right.
link up with all these cool comedians in all these circuits around the world. We've had someone from South Africa, a Zimbabwean guy. We've had people
Nice.
from America, down south in Texas. We've had people from Chicago. We've had someone from New York as well. And we've also had some people from London, some people. We've just had a guy from Spain right now. I've just interviewed someone
Damn.
from
All right.
Spain. So I'm trying to go global with this thing and trying to
Yeah. Oh, it's a
just
hell of an idea, man. It's an
create.
incredible idea.
Because,
Yeah.
the idea is that one day, Cal, I'll just go over to Bangalore, to
Oh,
Bombay,
for sure. Oh, for
and
sure.
then do my show. And then you come over here to Norwich in England where I live. Then you
It's
perform.
incredible. I
Uh,
would love to. It's one of my dreams to one day do the Fringe also. So before doing the Fringe, I will come and
oh,
I'll hit
dude,
all of Great Britain for
do,
sure.
do you know, here's a fun fact, right?
Yeah.
Last year I was in a national comedy competition, right? And like usually the final is held in Edinburgh, but
Okay.
last year was the first time in history that it wasn't held in because of the
Shit.
lockdown.
Yeah,
So
the pandemic. Yeah.
yeah, man, it would have been so cool to like get into, like, because it was a really big thing over here. It would have been,
Yeah, yeah. I would love to. It's one of my dreams to do
bro.
the Fringe and the Just for Laughs in Montreal.
Mm.
Montreal. Yeah, that's it's like, dude, you guys have like the Fringe and Just for Laughs festivals are like the sort of like
Yeah.
the mecca of comedy. You know,
Yes,
people,
indeed.
everyone goes there just to
Well,
perform. Yeah.
here's the thing, man. If you when you do come, I can always give you like a 5-10. No, actually, not a 10 minutes format. You've traveled all the way from India. I'd give you 20.
Yeah, I would really. The 10 minutes
Not
would really
10
help me
minutes.
a
I'm like, come on, man, give this guy 30 minutes, man.
lot.
So that's really cool. Like, we're trying to create like a community of comedians and just to find out just like how other people's experiences are. So how did you yourself get into comedy?
I used to be a business analyst actually. I was outsourced for Nielsen, and I used to work on the FMCG market. Uh, but and the thing is, the first year it was really interesting because I was learning about, it's like the curtains were raised, and I could see how the economy was
Yeah,
working behind the system. But
yeah.
the second year it started to get boring because it became sort of a mechanical process for
Mm,
me. You know, it was the same studies that you would do every week.
yeah.
So you're not really supposed to use the company internet to listen to music or to watch YouTube. But we were so bored. So as long as the projects used to be sent on time, the
Yeah.
managers wouldn't complain. And
Okay.
until that point, I had seen only Russell Peters in stand-up, Russell Peters and
Yeah.
Gabriel Iglesias. That's all
Okay.
I knew. So I just YouTubed best English stand-up, and this
Did
was
I
back
come
in
up?
No, you're probably much lower. You know, I didn't scroll down enough. It's not my fault because the first name that showed, this was in 2013,
Yeah.
and the first name that showed up was Dave Chappelle, Killing Them Softly.
Yeah. Good.
The-
Great
Dude,
special.
what a special!
Mm.
I just I just played it and I wasn't even watching. I went back to work. I was just listening to him in the background,
Yeah.
and halfway through, when he starts doing the joke about Bill Clinton and about how he chooses he doesn't care about the politics of a politician. He
Yeah.
just votes based on how he feels
Yeah.
about how they. Dude,
Yeah.
I was laughing so hard.
Oh.
My manager and team leader peeked from behind their systems just to see what the fuck is wrong with it. I love that special so much. Life changed, man. Just that
Yeah.
one special got me binging stand up across the board.
It's
And 6 months later, I quit my job even before I started my first open mic because I don't know what happened. It just like a switch flipped.
yeah,
And I was like, this is what I want to do. This is just what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I quit and I
bro.
started stand up.
When I first did my first gig and things went well, man, I remember walking back home that day feeling like a new man. I was like, it's never gonna be the
Dude,
same
it's the adrenaline, dude. It's the adrenaline. Oh my God. It's addictive, dude. It's really addictive.
It's like at that point, my life started making sense. I was like, you know
Yeah,
what, man?
yeah.
Everything now makes sense. You know?
You start feeling like you're a prophet, right? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I speak the truth, only the truth. You
Nothing but the truth. the, the thing is, it's such a it's a strong it's a strong art form, man. It's like when stand-up comedy goes well, when people clap your hands, when people
Yeah,
like it's so deep in the sense that the emotion, like it's not selfish. You're not doing it just so you can get
yeah.
praise at the end, because sometimes like people do really resonate with what you say. They come up to you after the gig and they're like, hey man,
Yeah.
listen, I didn't agree with the first two jokes, but that third one, man, that third one was, like
It's
it's
the best,
it's the
because it's so involuntary.
mm.
You say something that's so funny that they have that belly laugh, right? They just laugh by, oh, it's the best feeling, man. It's the
That's
best feeling.
when we first started this podcast as well, we were talking about how we want laughs as comedians that are not just like surface level, like you want someone to
Yeah.
spill their drink and be like, hey, slow down,
Yeah,
man.
I
You're
want
killing
people
it.
falling off their chairs. That's banging tables. That's the laugh.
The
That's
greatest compliment would be a stretcher coming out and someone doing CPR because someone died. from nothing. Someone almost died from your jokes. That's if you achieve that, you'll be the hottest
Yeah,
comedian.
that's a great feeling. That actually reminds me of a Tom Rhodes joke
Yeah.
where he said that he made someone laugh so much that they were choking, and he goes to another show 2 weeks later and says, "I damn near killed a bitch." Like, and I understand. I choked a
I
bitch. Like,
damn near
and it's a hell of a, yeah, man. It's a great
bro,
feeling.
man.
Yeah.
So like with stand-up comedy, right? Because it's it's this thing that opens your mind to these old possibilities. I'm always fascinated by comedians and just like learning their processes and seeing how
Mm-hmm.
similar or how different we are and that sort of thing. So in your journey or as you
Uh-huh.
started telling these jokes, was there one topic or a few topics that you were drawn to? Like if someone watched you, Kjelt, would they say, well, Kjelt talks about A, B, C? Like, did you just go and just start talking?
Uh, I just wanted to be funny. Like, in the sense, I
Mm,
was so desperate to be funny
yeah.
that I didn't really care what I talked about. I just
Mm,
wanted the laughs, and I wanted to make sure that, like, I just wanted the laughs. And
yeah.
but over this last 7 years,
Mm.
I've realized that I do have a lot of jokes about men and women and about relationships. And yeah, yeah. So I've like I have around an hour and a half of material, and that I kept uploading and all that. And if you look at it, half of it is across the board. It's
Yeah.
self-deprecating. It's about friends. It's about religion. It's about random stuff. But at least another half an hour, like 40 minutes of material, is just about men and women. Just about how,
Relationships.
yeah, it's how we hate each other, but we need
Oh,
each other. It's just,
that is crazy because like it's a universal language in any culture. In
yeah,
any culture, there's a
yeah.
man complaining about a woman, and there's a woman complaining about
Complaining
a
about a man. Yeah,
man.
yeah.
In both in any culture, you can go to Iceland right now and be like,
Yeah.
guys, my wife did this, and they'll be like, you know what, man, we agree with you, brother.
Yeah. It's the whole yin and yang, dude. It's the
Yeah.
whole. Yeah.
Nah, so like with these topics, picking up subjects with topics like say
Mhm.
relationships and all that, like I've had a few of mine as well, just having crazy topics and talking about multiple things. And in my case, I talked a lot about just being from a black background and being
Mhm.
African and all that. But as I am developing more and more, I've started getting interested in other topics as well, because there's times when I'm going to have to perform to a black audience and everyone there is going to be like, hey man, we're all black here. Like, you don't stand out. Everyone,
Yeah.
which I think might be the case for you. If you're performing and everyone is the same, you gotta
Yeah, yeah.
find other topics to talk
It
about.
does. That's why I actually decided to stay away from racial jokes. When I say racial
Mm,
jokes, like India itself has like so many different ethnicities,
yeah,
like that are across the board. So I just decided that it's not really worth it,
yeah,
because everybody knows each other a lot also.
yeah,
So the laughs felt too, like
yeah.
they laughed because they're like, oh yeah, yeah, we know. You know,
We know.
I the thing about comedy that I like is the surprise. When
Mm,
you say something that you didn't expect, and
and now
everyone just goes, where the fuck did he come up with that? That's the best feeling. It's
that's the best. Do you have any sort of, because I've watched some of your material online,
Mhm.
and I one thing that really stands out, from the videos that you sent me is I like the delivery, man. It's so sharp. It's like
Thanks, man.
bam, 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 bam. It's like you're not stopping. It's like you're not stopping. Like
Thanks, man.
who are your inspiration? Who's like, do you have a, because I'm a slow talker, see, so
Uh-huh.
when I'm on stage, even though I have to be energetic, I
Mhm.
have to kind of like like, I have a slow, gentle
Yeah,
jazz.
you like to build the tension in the room
Yeah.
before. Yeah, I get that.
I saw your
Uh,
videos and you're like, just like, damn, damn. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Jesus.
It's
This.
it's probably because I got a smaller dick, man. You know, I'm more insecure. I need to hear the laughs fast. You guys, you guys have the big dick shit, so you have that confidence. So you're just like, I'll wait for it. Let the tension mount. I, you know, I can't risk that. I need the laughs. I need the validation.
Yeah.
But in terms of style,
Yeah.
uh, I cannot recreate it. It's not like I tried also. I just
Yeah.
know I can't recreate it. But my biggest influences would be Patrice O'Neill.
Oh,
Uh,
gold.
Man, one of the greatest of all time. I feel
Gold.
so sad that he couldn't
Yeah.
uh, be there to see
Mm.
his own legend come out. I really am a big fan of Bill Burr too.
Yeah.
His rants are amazing. I'm also a big fan of Norm Macdonald.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his wacky style. He's like how he plays the fool all the time, even though the guy's so intellectually
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
Among English comics, I really like Stuart Lee.
Surely, very
Yeah,
good guy.
dude, you learn comedy from him. He's more like a professor,
Yeah.
because he shits on so many different styles of comedy that
Yeah.
I figured out that I shouldn't do that or I shouldn't
Yeah.
try it because I don't want to be judged by
It's
uh, by,
it's so
by someone
brutal.
like that. He's
Yeah.
brutal, man. And among the newer guys, I really like Acaster too.
Yeah.
James Acaster.
James Acaster.
Yeah, I saw his new special. That was also really good.
Dude,
Uh,
all these people that you're mentioning, man, like they're similar to like, people that I've grown, that I look up to. So, and
yeah.
you could be doing comedy in a completely different part of the world and,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
still
That's
have the same influence. That's what's
because it
beautiful about
seems
it.
so honest.
Mm.
Who are your favorites? Like, who do you like?
My top 5 hasn't changed since the day I started comedy. So I have Richard Pryor, who
Amazing, amazing. Yeah,
is just he started all of this, man. Like
he
the
did, man,
style,
dude.
that's
Live in concert was one of the greatest specials of all time.
bro.
Like him walking in even before the lights go down. Like Louis C.K. did that in Live at the Beacon Theater too,
Yeah, yeah, I
but
saw it.
Pryor did it first, like
Bro,
30 years before. Oh my God, dude.
Pryor didn't need an opener, bro. He would just
Yeah, he
walk on
just came
stage.
out.
Do you know how crazy that is, man?
When he
People,
talks about white people coming back and finding out black people that stole their seats.
nah, Pryor was just a killer, man. Like
Oh man.
that's why you have to take your hat to him, because
Yeah, yeah,
even nowadays, man, because apparently, right, the story is that that live at the concert gig, the famous one that
yeah,
you're talking about, the
yeah,
opening act was Aretha Franklin,
yeah.
like a
No, Patti
musician.
LaBelle.
Patty
It was
LaBelle,
Patti LaBelle. It was
Patty
Patti
LaBelle,
LaBelle. Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a musician, so it meant
yeah,
that after the music ended, right, I
yeah,
guess people could walk around and like
yeah, yeah.
you and I both know that in that's
that's
not how
that's scary for a
that's
comedian, dude.
scary. You just walked the house,
Yeah,
no
oh, dude,
opener,
he
started.
commanded their attention so
Oh,
quickly. Dude, that is one of the tightest entries that I have ever seen.
bro.
Dude,
And
dude, what a special.
how crazy is it that like that special is so iconic, but like it doesn't have a proper opening. The guy just walks on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
That's when you know that's levels, man. Like Richard Pryor, to me, that's the GOAT. Then
Yeah,
there's Chris Rock, who I think is just so
amazing,
strong.
amazing. Bigger
Then
and blacker was a hell of a special. Yeah.
he never misses, man. Chris
Dude,
Rock.
and one thing I learned, I'm sorry for interrupting,
No,
but
no,
the names
no.
you're saying is just like, see, that's the thing. There are some greats, there are like actually quite a few greats that
Mm,
the order keeps changing.
yeah.
In Bigger and Blacker, that joke that he does about instead of gun control, I would do bullet control. If
How
a bullet
genius
costs
is
$5,000,
it?
$5,000, dude.
It's like,
Uh,
damn, you must have did something if you get got.
okay,
And
so
then
Pryor, Chris
uh,
Rock.
Prior, Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle,
Uh-huh.
then there's Patrice O'Neill, then there's
Patrice.
Trevor Noah, then there's Cat
Yeah.
Williams. I have to
Yeah.
say Cat Williams because
Yeah. Cat Pacalypse.
bro, even though people don't talk about him a lot, right? Like when I was growing up, when I was like in my teenage years, man, that was the funniest guy. Cat
Yeah, I get
Williams
that.
was just
I
like
get that.
so. He was a killer, man, and I feel like he still is. And so that's my order, and this
Yeah.
is so universal in the sense that we may have all these different stories and all that,
Mhm.
but at the very peak of stand up, it's a
Yeah.
few guys, man. It's a
Yeah.
few
Yeah.
guys that are all internationally
Who are
acknowledged.
always there, actually.
They're
You know?
always there. They
But when it
never
comes to
do.
Cat, yeah, when it comes to Cat Williams, I think people just stopped taking his name out because he was like a little too dirty.
Yeah.
Like I think people just started becoming a little too politically correct, and they didn't want to say, because the Pimp Chronicles was a
Oh.
pretty decent, like, when Snoop Dogg comes to the
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
Lincoln, I was like, yo, okay, I get it. It's a fun special. Like it's
Yeah.
a, but people became a little too politically correct, I think. So I think that's why Cat Williams didn't get
That's the
more
crazy thing
recognition.
about our generation, man. Because if you've been doing comedy for 7 years,
Yeah.
then the comedy that you would have done on your first day is
Yeah.
different from what it
It
is
is.
now.
It
Bro,
is.
I don't know what it's like on the Indian circuit, but over here, man, people get canceled, man. You tell the wrong joke, you say the wrong thing, man. It's like now that stain stays with you for like, in fact, tweets. You tweet the wrong thing, man. People are
Yeah.
like gonna
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. It's what they did to Kevin Hart, for the Oscars.
yeah.
And yeah,
So right,
in India, the circuit is so new
yeah,
that I see like open micers do those kind of shows,
mm,
and then they get shat on. But the scene is so new and they're already so unknown that
they
you
can
can
come
still get
back.
away with it. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
still get away with it. Unless you're very famous already. But the thing is, the guys who are becoming like very famous
mm,
already understand this. They
yeah,
know that they can get cancelled. So
mm,
they are being very politically correct.
yeah,
But I'm not going to name names, but some of them are actually so good. But because of this, they just treat those kind of jokes, those premises,
yeah.
as uncharted territory, and they don't go there. They don't chart
Oh
that territory.
yeah,
So
they
I
just
don't
don't
know.
go.
Yeah, they just
It,
don't go for it.
I feel like if you want to be global, if you want to get to a certain level, then you gotta, there's no choice but to start
Yeah,
adjusting the material so that it becomes a global conversation because
yeah,
people are getting cancelled left, right, and center, man. But
yeah. But that's it. But you know what? Some of the jokes that people complain about,
mm,
they're some of my favorite jokes too. Like Patrice O'Neill, Elephant in the Room. Yeah,
yeah,
you know how awkward. Like now, it's actually confidence that I got after the Bill Burr dropped the "Killing Is Easy" Patrice O'Neill documentary.
yeah,
So now I can say it more, like there's a certain confidence. But
mm,
before that, even though he is one of my favorites, one of my top three even,
mm,
I wouldn't say his name first, because
mm.
I don't know how the person I'm talking to is going to react to me saying his name, because he
Bro,
has some great jokes, man. Like,
think you know that opener when he goes when he talks about the white girl that got kidnapped and everyone knew her name.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
bro,
Fox is not looking for you. I might look
come
for you.
on.
When he tells the black girl, and then he says, if I ever go sailing, I'm gonna take a white baby on a keychain."
Like, come on, man. Come on.
Then what a punchline!
This,
What a punchline!
that's so crazy. Like these guys, it's so the joke is so good. These are the timeless stuff that like
Yeah,
even
yeah,
as a
yeah,
joke writer, you'd be like, "Ooh," watching that
yeah.
at
They're
home and you're
timeless, man.
like,
Like, and he's so self-deprecating too. Like
mm,
he also explains how he's not trying to be above you. He's just trying to say, listen, we are all pieces of shit. Just like, dude, Patrice O'Neill, Elephant in the Room. I sometimes enjoy just watching the crowd reaction shots. I
yeah,
know it's edited, but I know the crowd reaction shots are honest. And you see
yeah.
the faces of some of the people,
Oh,
like that look of pure surprise, and they can't stop themselves from laughing.
He's a
Gold, man.
genius,
That
man.
is gold, dude.
He's a genius. Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Kjelt, it's actually been pretty crazy just bonding over these comedy
Yeah.
legends, and just another thing, just to what I find my audience is
Mhm.
interested in is just like if you have any comedy tips for up and coming comedians that you yourself have applied that you think would be helpful to them, like comedy advice, because for example, right, just starting with me, there was this gig that I did sometime last year, right, and I saw this guy, forgetting his name now, but he's kind of like a TV comic in the UK. Weird that I
Mhm.
forget his name when he's that big, but
Mhm.
like I was doing a show with him and I was always like, hey man, listen, you've done this way longer. So I'm always curious. I explained to him that I'm fascinated by the art form. So if he has
Okay.
any word of advice, I just appreciate it just for the sake of it. Then
How
he's
old is he? I'll try and guess the name.
he's like mid 40s, early 50s. He's from the UK. He's like I don't know
Is it
if
Dylan
he's
Moran? No, but Moran is
no
Irish. No,
no
I love Dylan Moran, by the
Moran
way.
is Irish.
Yeah,
Moran is
yeah,
Irish,
yeah. I
but
love Moran.
he's in the
Moran.
similar
Sorry.
class. He's
Yeah.
in the similar class. It's like that type of like name.
Okay.
Bro, I can't think of it like right now
Okay.
because,
Okay.
but anyway, like he said you have
Uh-huh.
to do what you think is funny,
Mm-hmm.
as in you have to go on that stage and you know be like, okay, this is I'm gonna determine what's funny as opposed to
Mm-hmm.
you. And
Yeah.
and like that might not mean much to people, but that in itself, it's like a mindset. It's like a mindset
Yeah.
adjustment.
Yeah.
Instead of going on the stage scared or not being sure like
Yeah.
what people are going to talk about, that's like what he told me
It,
to do.
it's a great advice, man, because it also helps you be more original. You
Mm.
know, instead of trying to cater to the audience, because that's something I actually tell some of the open micers who come here. I
Mm.
mean, I have some friends, they've been doing for like 2-3 years, and then sometimes they ask
Yeah,
me, and I say, like, because that whole expression "customer is king" is bullshit.
that's
The customer
bullshit.
doesn't know anything. The customer is king is an advertising tactic. They just say, oh, you want this. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know what the fuck he wants.
He
That's just
doesn't.
good selling. Yeah. And
It's
the
good.
more you don't care about, because I've seen that happen to comics here,
Mm.
where right now they're doing something that the audience likes, and
Yeah.
then they become big. And then after a while, the audience doesn't like it anymore. They like something else. And these
Mm.
guys are left high and dry. They're like, what the fuck? I
Yeah.
thought I was doing what you guys wanted. Why did you change? So yeah, I love that advice, man. Yeah,
Yo,
I'm,
that's that's
uh,
that's really cool. Like just to hear it from your perspective and how like in a in a in a circuit where it's all growing, how all of
yeah,
these lessons can be applicable. So like, do
yeah.
you have anything that someone might have said in your early years that proved to be
Uh, to be honest,
mm,
two things. One thing I heard was a comic from Bombay. He told me that Doug Stanhope apparently said not to read any of these books on how to write jokes, because Doug Stanhope had apparently read that and then spent the next 10 years just trying to unlearn what he learned from that book. He
yo,
said, never read other structures. You just be funny by yourself. You be you. That's how
mm,
you can be original. And that's how all you have to do is try and make it tighter. Try and come
yeah,
to the laugh tighter, but do it your way. Don't read books. That advice really stuck with me.
mm,
And the second thing that I am actually learning right now, and it's something I'm still finding hard to do, because I'm so like insecure and desperate for laughs and all that. All comics are, I guess.
yeah,
But
me too.
uh, I just realized that how important it is to be patient when building a joke. Like, because sometimes I felt like in the beginning, I used to think, okay, I need to have a half-hour set ready
Mm,
within like the first year and shit. I have to do that.
yeah,
And just to fill in the time, I used to write random shit.
mm,
And shit I no longer do. Jokes I no longer do, because now I
yeah,
just think that's bullshit. It's not funny.
Mm.
And I realized it's important to be patient, and it's like fishing.
Yeah.
You just have to sit there, and sometimes you just wait. You just wait till something bites, because
Something
it's
bites. Yeah.
yeah, it's actually a mixture of something I heard in an interview between Craig Ferguson and Stephen King.
Yeah. All right.
And
Yeah.
Stephen King is not a comic at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I've read his books. This book on writing, it's so
yeah,
eye-opening, man.
yeah. Stephen King on writing, yeah. And
Yeah.
he said something that he never write if he gets an idea or a premise, he
Mm.
never writes it down. He will wait for like a month or 2 months to pass, so that if after a month or 2 months later he still remembers the premise,
Then
that's how
it's
he knows it's a good premise.
yeah,
Because his mind didn't allow him to forget.
yeah,
But if you write it down, you forgot why you liked it. You might write down even
yeah.
shit premises. So
And,
yes, that really stuck with me too.
and sometimes, like, the thing about a joke is there's an energy behind good jokes.
Yeah.
So when you're writing a premise, you need to make sure it captures that energy, that emotion. Because when you look back on it months later and you forget what you're feeling when you wrote down that
Yeah.
joke, that it won't be it won't be delivered
Yeah.
the same,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like the energy. Like people that have been doing stand-up for a certain amount of time know that it's not just about the words, it's about the
Yeah.
energy,
Yeah.
and it is so crazy, bro. Like so just going back to what you're saying,
Mhm.
um it's more instinct rather than, I guess,
Yeah.
for lack of a
Yeah.
better word, intellect. It's more instinct than intellect. Like you don't have to
Yeah.
think about it or critically analyze it in your head. You just
Because I'm not trying to be a lawyer. I'm not trying to win an argument. I'm trying to be funny.
yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to be right. I want your laugh. That's it.
That's
Like
it.
that's all I care about. Like that's actually a joke I did and I dropped. It's just that like I don't understand why people are now coming to comedy shows for life advice.
Hell
You know,
no. I don't
I don't
care.
get it. Like I didn't sign up to be your father. I'm not trying to replace a father figure. I'm just trying to be funny. I'm trying to be that drunk cousin who's at weddings and family functions just getting smashed. That's who I want to be. It's
You're like, listen, man, I don't care if you get divorced or keep your wife. I don't care. I'm just here trying to make sure you laugh whilst you
yeah.
died.
You sometimes you go to these family gatherings and there's this one drunk guy
Oh, yeah.
he's so drunk, he's making everyone laugh, but he's so drunk he sometimes says something deep, and you're
Yeah.
impressed. You're like,
Yeah.
damn, I didn't see that coming. I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy. I'm not
it's
trying to fix people. I'm just trying to,
it's
you know.
it's it's usually the uncles that, like, growing up
Yeah.
you thought they were bad uncles, but as you get older you start realizing you have way more in common with them than with some of the people. The drunk uncle that your parents are like, man, this drunk uncle is a bad influence, but when you get older you're like, he is kind of right about some of the things.
Yeah, he's kind of right. Yeah.
That's what we all try to be, man. That drunk uncle was kind of right, bro. Like one of the things that I just wanted to just run by you is that I like people's opinion on this question. Do you think comedy can be taught?
I think comedy can be learned. I don't think it can be taught.
Ah. Oof.
Like it's, I feel so proud. I swear to God, my dick grew 2 inches. I swear to God. I think I got a bigger dick now. I think,
Dude, we bound. Wait. Oh, come on, man. What the hell is going on?
we're back. We're
Wait,
back.
we're back. We're back. Oh my God.
Talk about
Yeah.
truly representing a third world country.
It kind of at the craziest point, bro. Like just as you say that, Jeff, don't worry. When I edit it, I'll put it all together. But
Yeah, right.
I will capture our excitement. Nah, but I think seriously though, like it's it's just the stuff that you've been saying, man. All of this is
No,
eye-opening.
we were talking about comedy being taught, or
Yeah, man.
I think the stage is the real teacher, dude. I
Mm,
think if you bomb enough, you kind of realize what not to do, and then you
yeah,
correct yourself.
the stage experience is the best teacher. Nothing can beat it.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
know,
think so.
there's so many books you can learn. It's one of those weird things that, like, the moment that you cannot teach people, though, the moment, like, when they announce your name,
Yeah,
Kjels, come on, and the audience starts clapping, and then you walk
yeah,
up to the stage, and then they stop clapping, and then there's
yeah,
this few seconds of silence.
yeah,
That's something that you cannot teach.
yeah, yeah.
That's the moment of truth.
Oh
Wherever.
man, it's even worse when you're starting out, because when they say give it up for Kelt, audiences sometimes don't even clap.
They're
They're
like,
just like, yeah, we'll
what?
wait for the guy to come. We'll see if he's funny. We'll see if he deserves it.
What
It's
the hell is this dude? But yeah, man. It's like I said, of course, with this podcast, um, part of what we're doing is, we give comedians new tips, but the best tip is just to do stand up.
yeah, yeah,
There's no other way around it. Just
yeah, yeah,
go on stage, tell those jokes, bomb, um, you know, uh, go back to the drawing board,
yeah,
realize that it's a bigger journey, that it's a
yeah,
longer journey. Just because, sometimes people confuse luck with being good.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe that day you were lucky because everyone else sucked, so you seem funnier than you are. you know. So there's so many elements to it,
Yeah,
brother. It's like,
yeah.
damn, you were hilarious, but and then you tried the same jokes like in a different comedy club, and that
Yeah,
doesn't work. So you constantly need to evaluate yourself and just, understand,
yeah,
it's a bigger world out there. And also constantly, not necessarily compare yourself, but also see how other people are doing it, all of it.
yeah,
There's weirdly enough no easy way to teach stand-up comedy.
yeah. You just have to bomb your way up.
Bomb
To
your way
the,
up. It's
yeah,
always the best teacher, because
yeah,
in fact, the less you try to learn from people, the more
yeah,
original you are.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's like,
It's so
damn,
true.
I haven't taken any tips. This is purely my own garbage. You'll be
Yeah,
so, you'll be so unique. Kelt, we just do like I feel like, yeah, we've done about, of course, we had the 10-minute power cut, but
yeah.
that's something that I'm going to fix. But before I let you go, did you have
Mhm.
anything that you want to plug, or anywhere where we can look for you?
Just
And
check out my videos on YouTube, I guess. I'm not really big on like I'm just now getting into Instagram because I
yeah,
think it's necessary for the marketing purposes. But
that's how we
honestly, just
found each other.
yeah, that's how we found each other. Yeah, just find my material on Instagram or on YouTube. I changed the spelling of my name on both YouTube and Instagram to
Why?
make it easier to find me, because
Ah.
the silent J was throwing people off, man. I just changed it of Jan of this year because I
Yeah.
wanted to see if it actually helps people find me. So it's
Oh,
just Kelt. Uh, so it's just how it's pronounced,
no
you know?
worries.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Kjelt, I feel like we have learned a lot from you today. It's
Yeah.
been a good discussion about how global the comedy is,
Yeah. Yeah.
the comedy industry is,
Yeah.
just even though we may be in two completely different
Yeah.
places.
It was fun talking to you, man. Like it
Thank
is,
you.
yeah, I'm glad that like it's resonating even though you're on a different continent, it's just like,
Bro,
yeah.
this is a global thing, man. And when all of this plays out, in a few years' time, when this platform, because it's not
Yeah.
just going to be a podcast, it's going to be a platform. When the
Hmm.
platform gets the recognition it deserves,
Yeah.
then you should be able to come to my country, do
Oh,
gigs. I
for
should be
sure.
able to,
And the same thing, man. You come here whenever. Yeah. Hook you up with spots. Yeah.
and then
We'll.
Who knows? I might have some cool jokes. I'll be like, "What's up, Bombay?" I'm not gonna call him. Stir up some trouble over there. You feel me? Hi, brother. Thank you so
All right.
much.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for getting me. All right.
It's been pleasure. It's been cool.